Warsaw correspondent Gulliver Cragg. Gulliver, what more can you tell us about these results?
Well, according to the National Electoral Commission, who was at pains to stress that they're not actually official results, but they're everything that they basically are official. They're announced by the National Electoral Commission, but they're not allowed to say that they're official until all the votes have been counted and double-checked. There are still some precincts whose votes need to be double-checked, and there are around 120,000 votes from Poles living in England and Belgium that have yet to come in. But the difference between the two candidates, though this race is very close, is significantly more than 120,000. It's more than 400,000 votes. Andrzej Duda is on 51.2%, with Rafal Trzaskowski on 48.8%. So it's close, but it is a clear victory for the incumbent president, which means 5 more years of having a president who is essentially just a representative of the ruling Law and Justice Party and its leader Jarosław Kaczynski. Although the Polish president is supposed to be super partes, Andrzej Duda has shown very little independence vis-à-vis the ruling Conservative Nationalist Party. He has no real political base of its own, so what we can expect is that he will continue to execute more or less the orders of that party.
And Gulliver, this election really seemed to have shone a light on the very deep divisions that are evident in Poland today. Tell us a bit more about that and what each person was representing.
Absolutely. When you look at the analysis of the results, depending on where people live, their age group, their level of education, there are huge differences. And basically, big cities vote for Rafał Trzaskowski. In Warsaw, 68% of voters in the capital of Poland voted for the opposition candidate. It's also a very marked difference between level of education. 65% of people with higher education vote for Rafał Trzaskowski. There's a big age difference as well. Voters of Andrzej Duda tend to be older. Voters of Rafał Trzaskowski tend to be younger. Andrzej Duda is very much the representative of rural Poland. Nearly half of all those who voted for him live in villages. A significant proportion of the rest live in small towns. So this is a huge division within Polish society between the cities and the youth that tend to be more European, westward-looking, who consider themselves to be more modern, and people in rural areas who feel that they've been left behind by Poland's transformation these past 30 years and are finally getting their revenge with the Lauren party in power, which is pursuing a radically conservative agenda, which is strongly Catholic and places great value on the maintenance of traditional Polish values, and which also is engaged in redistribution of the country's wealth to poorer people through a child benefit scheme that has been described by some economists as clumsy and ineffective in economic terms, in terms of what would be really the most effective thing to do for the structure of the economy. But it's nevertheless that is something that is really, really appreciated by those poorer Poles who are benefiting from it.
Gulliver, thank you for that. France 24's Gulliver Cragg.